Good morning. I am Dr. Amrit and today we are talking about hypermetropia. So, what is meant by hypermetropia? But before that, I want to know the other names for hypermetropia. So, hypermetropia is also called as long-sightedness or hyperopia. Before I jump into the details of the topic, let us go through the various study points that we will be studying today. So, under the heading of hypermetropia, I will be taking you through what is the difference between a normal eye and hypermetropic eye, what are the optics of hypermetropia, what are the causes of hypermetropia, what are the various components of hypermetropia. What I mean to say by component is what is meant by absolute hypermetropia, what is meant by latent hypermetropia, what is manifest hypermetropia, and what is total hypermetropia. So I will be sailing through all of this. What are the symptoms of hypermetropia? What are the various signs of hypermetropia? If the hypermetropia is not treated, what all complications can result because of hypermetropia? And finally, what is the treatment of hypermetropia? To understand what causes hypermetropia, we should be well aware of what are the various refractive components of our human eye. So basically, how the rays of light which are coming from infinity, that means when we look at the distance, how they are going to pass through the eye and finally reach our retina over here is determined by the refractive arrangement which is given to us by the God. And that refractive arrangement is nothing but our cornea. Then we have the lens, the space between the two, which is the anterior chamber. And then from the lens, we reach finally the retina, traveling through the vitreous humor or the vitreous. Okay, so what I mean to say by the refractive components of eye is there are four major things which should be absolutely normal in an eye for the rays of light coming from the infinity to pass through the lens and converge at one single point on the retina to give us a sharp and a clear image. And what are those four components? These four components are nothing but the corneal power, which is about 43 diopters, that means this, the anterior chamber depth, which will be roughly about 3.4 millimeters, the power of the crystalline lens, which is about 21 diopters, and the most important of all is the axial length, that is the anterior posterior length of the eyeball, which is about 24 millimeter on average. This value is very important. So what happens when any of these four components are disturbed? We will get a refractive error. And presence of refractive error is called emmetropia. Now let us see what happens in hypermetropia. So basically, first let me tell you how the optics, that means how the rays of light which are passing through infinity into an hypermetropic eye will pass and where will they converge. Okay, and then I will go to the reasons as to why that happened. Alright, so in hypermetropia, the rays which are coming from infinity, they will pass through the lens just like in a normal eye, but they are going to come to a focus. That means they are going to meet with each other to form an image where? Behind the retina. It is, the image is being formed behind the retina. So what I can call this situation is that the focal length of the hypermetropic eye is long. Yes, Now, because the image is being formed behind the retina, we can call that the focal length of the hypermetropic eye is long, and this is the reason hypermetropia is also called long sightedness. Now, we know that the power of a lens or power of the eyeball is inversely proportional to the focal length, right? So this is something that we all should know, that the power is inversely proportional to the focal length. So as we know that the focal length in a case of hypermetropia is more, what will happen to the power of the lens? The power will be less. So we can also say that a hypermetropic eye is a weaker eye, than the normal eye. Why is it so? Because the power of the hypermetropic eye is less. And what is the power of the normal eye? The power of the normal eye is about 60 diopters. So what will be the power of the hypermetropic eye? It will be less than 60 diopters. Alright. At this point, can any one of you guess what will be the treatment of hypermetropia? Yes, the treatment would be to make this weaker eye strong. So how do you make this weaker eye strong? By giving them convex lens, which is also a converging lens. All right. Now, at this point, many of you might be having a doubt that why convex lens are given in hypermetropia. So for that, there is a concept that all of us should be aware about, is that the normal crystalline lens which is present in our human eye is a biconvex lens. Okay, so it is a biconvex lens. A biconvex lens or a convex lens is also called a converging lens. So what I mean to say is that the rays, when they pass through a convex lens, they tend to meet together after passing out through the lens. That means they are converging together, and that's why it is called a converging lens, also a plus lens or a positive lens. A lens which is more stronger will be causing more convergence. What I mean to say is, if someone is more positive, it's causing more convergence. They are going to meet, or they are going to converge much more earlier. Whereas if something is less positive, there will be less convergence, and because of the less convergence, the rays will meet more far away. And this is what happens in a case of hypermetropia. Let's see over here. This diagram over here shows that a normal eye which is passing through the lens, and then everything is focusing on the retina. This is normal. And the image over here is actually an image from a myopic patient. The myopic patients, they have more power in their system, because of which the rays are getting more converged and they are focusing much more earlier. Because they are focusing much more earlier, they are forming an image in front of the retina. Whereas in a case of hypermetropia, the system is weaker. Therefore, the rays which are passing, they are converging late, and because they are converging late, they are reaching behind the retina. And that is the reason in hypermetropia the image is formed behind the retina. Now, if we need to strengthen this system, what do we need to do? We need to give it more power. And how do we give it more power? By adding more converging lens. And what is that converging lens? The converging lens is the convex lens. And this is the reason why we give convex lenses in hypermetropia to treat a patient. So let me tell you how. If this is an eyeball of a hypermetropic patient, and these are the rays of light which are passing through this weak eye, they are focusing behind the retina. The patient is not happy because he can't see clear. So what do? We introduce a convex lens in front of his eye and give him extra power to converge. Now what will happen is the same rays of light will undergo more convergence. They will start converging much more faster and earlier and reach just enough, just here on the retina, and the patient now can see happily, and he is happy because the image has cleared and you have treated him by giving him convex lenses. Is that clear?